I'm going to be sharing several points. The first is the context between separation of church and state. That was a letter written by Thomas Jefferson to a Protestant minister. The Protestant minister had a concern saying, Mr. Jefferson, will there be favoritism for one Protestant denomination over another? He says, no, there's a wall or a separation between church and state, meaning we're not going to favor one over the other. But the liberty to still practice your faith and have that really fuse the legislator is still fine. The last part is commentary. The next point is, where do we get law? I believe we get law from God. He defines what is moral law. In the Ten Commandments, we get, thou shalt not kill. If we were to degrade law to just our subjective input, it becomes rather fluid with our culture. Is life precious? According to the psalmist in Psalm 139, verse 13 through 16, it says, for you, this is David talking to God, you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you, and when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them. God knows ahead of time who we are while we're still in the womb and what's going to happen after birth. Speaking again of what God's plan is for that life, it says in Ephesians 2:10, this is Paul talking to the church in Ephesus, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So we see that God has a perspective on life. It is precious. Let's go back to the Ten Commandments. We're not supposed to murder. Leviticus 24, God is explaining to the children of Israel the moral law. He says, whoever takes a human life shall surely be put to death. So God's implementing capital punishment for murder. Let's find out what things God hates. In Proverbs 6, it says, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A baby that's in the womb is innocent. He or she has committed no crimes. So for us to shed that innocent blood, it's not good. The heart starts to beat at about 5.5 to 6 weeks old in the womb. That baby has blood. We're not supposed to shed that innocent blood. Jesus said, you shall not murder in Matthew 19, verse 18. James wrote, do not murder. Children are a blessing. It says in Psalm 127, verses 3 through 5, behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. He shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gate. Now, what about the life of the child? Is it determined by social factors? If the family doesn't want it, does life become not as valuable? What if there's not enough funding to support the child? Do we kill the baby in the womb because we can't afford the baby? What if the baby isn't healthy enough? Do we kill the baby because we determined that that health level isn't where we want it to be? Or is life precious even if it has special needs? In the beginning of Exodus, God said, who made the deaf, the mute, the seeing, or the blind? Have not I? God makes people, and if they have a special need, they are still precious and they should not be aborted. I propose we choose life. It says in Deuteronomy 30, verse 19, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessings and a curse. Therefore choose life that you and your offspring may live. Thank you.
We will be taking a voice vote. So before Representative Kila interrupts me, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried.